How my negative beliefs messed up my life. Story time. So I was raised, or rather born, on my mom's dad's side of the family. So my grandfather's side of the family, right? My grandmother was married, gave birth to my mom, my granddad, and then I was also born there, right? When I turned 6 years old, my grandfather died suddenly, and because of that, the family came and said to my grandmother, "Hey, which means why your marriage is done, your person is gone, so you need to go back to your home." So my grandparents don't stay very far from each other. It's like maybe let's say 10 streets apart. They're from the same neighborhood. So I remember so vividly as packing our bags, which is us, is myself, my mom, my aunt, and my grandmother, packing our bags. And like like crossing the road. And we're walking to now this other side. It's back in the day, so I don't know if there wasn't cars, the way we couldn't rent a car or whatever. We didn't have a car at home, so but we had to walk with our bags and miralo ya rona, all our luggage to 10 streets away. Also, so I remembered this thing, like it like stayed in my heart. So I remember it clearly now, but then I forgot about it. So fine, it happened. Then now we're getting to this other side of the family, and that side of the family now it's not really happy because of the house has been run in another way, and now we're gonna add. So now it's many people because it's another side of the family home, right? Cool. Now we're staying there, but never really like comfortably in the beginning because family feuds and stuff like that. Sharp. Fast forward, I grew up, forgot about that, live my life. Now I'm working, and I used to, so I left the province and then stayed in another province. When I came back now, Mara, I don't stay, I don't have a place to stay. My friends, One day my sister sits me down and said, "Why don't you buy a house? Because everywhere, and you don't have a place to stay, basically." And I think at the time I had fought with whoever that I was staying with, whoever it was. So, okay, fine. I decide I'm going to buy a house. Okay, I buy a house, and now I'm settled. And I'm like, okay, buying a house is not that bad. Now but I've always had this urge to own properties, to rent them out to people, right? Cool. So now I start attending property courses. I do property seminars, what. I learn about flipping, rental, angel investment, like all of that. Like I have all the theories. So I do all the intellectual work. I do. Then, comfortable enough, secure enough, I buy property to rent, and then I also buy land. Fine, get now, get ready. One day, life happens, and I lose everything. The house that I used to stay in and my 2 properties, gone. And in the healing of that, right, it's another story why how I lost them, but I lose everything. I find myself sleeping in my uncle's couch. And in the healing, I went back and I was just like, what happened? What is the negative belief that stole all of these things, right? And I found that day, and I was 6 years old, I identified with the negative belief that I'm homeless. I believe that I am homeless, and therefore I continuously found myself in a circle of being homeless, no matter what kind of intellectual things I did. So you know how I always say that sometimes you focus on the strategy, so you focus on the business and move from one business to another. I studied property, but I couldn't own one because the limiting belief, or with my subconscious mind that ran the show, it was that one that said I'm homeless, which is why after so many years of work, I still found myself sleeping on my uncle's couch. When I say to you, you can want to build a life, but your subconscious mind is the one that calls the show. It will always get rid of the things that you've worked for because it runs the show. So this is how I say, take the time to heal. take the time to get rid of that limiting belief, because of that is what is sabotaging your success. Not that you're not meant to succeed, not that things are not supposed to be working out for you, but things are there. It's just that your limiting belief is the one. You'll catch it and it will disappear. I hope you have yourself a beautiful Tuesday.